I think the same things that make us successful that allowed the Paul Miller racing team to win the WeatherTech Championship with the Lamborghini Huracan, those same values, those same principles apply in the dealership and in our business environment. The person who's wiping off the windshield at the pit stop is as important as the driver. They translate to the dealership environment where we have as much respect for the person who picks up our garbage and may clean up the bathroom as we do the manager who's running the dealership. It's a team concept, and we all converge on the task at once, and we all win at once.
The Paul Miller culture is to treat everyone with the utmost of respect.
You can tell a place by how long people have worked there. Many of the salesmen here have been here 30 years. I've been here 9 years. That's a sign of a good place to work.
It's not a fly-by-night place, and I'm not the only person here that's more than a decade.
Paul's a unique individual where he cares as much about the employees as he does the customers.
They will nurture you, and they will give you the knowledge, and they will support you, give you medical benefits. They contribute to your 401k.
We have much more tenure, we have less turnover, and you end up with a career versus a job.
I like what I do. I like helping people. It really seems like everybody matters here.
I think our review process and our objective perspective affords everyone the same opportunity. We have 4 general managers in our group that came up through service and parts. I grew up in service and parts. That's not the norm in our industry.
They hired me at BMW as a valet, just as someone to park cars. Has learned as much as I could learn, got to where I'm at now.
12 years ago I started as a valet, then service advisor, warranty administrator, and now I'm the manager of the service department. So yeah, I've worked my way up, and obviously there's room to grow.
The better job we do with the people that are on our team, with that, the better job they'll do with our clients, and it's really served us well in the 42 years that's been the philosophy for Paul Miller and the dealerships here.
I started as a receptionist not knowing much about the business, and I moved on to marketing and being an assistant to a manager, and then moved on to a whole new role of internet management, which is basically sales.
And we've had great success stories where somebody who started just shadowing one of our guys at 17 is, 8 or 9 years down the road now a master technician in one of our stores earning over $100,000. That's a big part of our company culture. Training and career path are something that I think separates us from others.
They would give me projects based on what classes I was in and help me reinforce what I was learning. And I started pretty much as an intern tech and then became a full-time tech when I graduated.
If somebody's working as a parts counterman and they want to be a parts manager, are we supporting their endeavors? So we do that twice a year with every employee to make sure that they're progressing at the rate that they want to and that we want to. Pay for training for our employees. We have mentor programs with senior people, coaching junior people. I think those are the type of things that really differentiate us.
Paul spares no expense in sending their employees to whatever courses are offered.
They sent me actually to Vegas last December to do some workshops. I've never done something like that before, and it was absolutely amazing and such an incredible experience.
When I first moved over to F&I in September 2014, I was trained for close to 1 year.
Because of Paul Miller's belief in me and that I could do something that was out of my comfort zone, I went into sales, and for the last roughly 20 years have been between 1 and 10 in the country, somewhere in there. That's something I never, ever thought would happen to me.
They do things that other dealers don't do, which is they're closed on certain holidays, and it's great so you can spend time with your family.
My mother passed away recently. There was a time when I didn't think I could put another foot in front of the next one, and Mr. Miller was there for me.
When we were closed because Sandy hit and we had no power, and so they actually shipped a bunch of gasoline up to the Audi store. Each employee got to take home a jug of like 10 gallons of fuel or something like that to help with their generators when nobody had power.
Once somebody is a part of the family, they're treated as such.
In my tenure here, I've worked at different franchises for Mr. Miller. I've been at the BMW store, the Land Rover store, the Jaguar store, the Subaru store. And it's not about the product, it's about the Paul Miller brand.
Let's say you move and there's a different Paul Miller store more local to where you're moving. They'll likely ease a transition for you to keep you in the family. They really care about you as a person, not just somebody who works in their building.
It makes it a lot easier if you're the person who's committed to move forward and move up the ladder, it's a lot quicker than going to some place where you only have 1 or 2 stores to grow with.
On the flip side, as a salesperson, if I have a client that isn't necessarily interested in my product or they want to cross-shop my product with some other competitive luxury makes, I can call one of my friends at the other centers, set up an appointment for them, and know that they're going to be taken care of.
I think the racing heritage adds a certain cachet or allure to the Paul Miller brand, the Paul Miller name.
Being car people, the race team, what's better than having your own race team?
And it's good for the employees. It gives us something to be proud of over and above what we do every day.
As I was at a race in Lime Rock maybe a year or 2 ago, and it is an awesome experience.
It's very exciting being a part of a professional race team. Looking back to the first time I met Paul Miller, I never thought it would come to this, but it has, and I'm very grateful for that.
Like if you look at like a pit crew, every single person plays their part. Just like at a dealership, every single person there, from the salesman to the parts to the service, everyone, it's like an orchestra. They all got to play their part.
We work as a team. We're not just independent people fixing things. We're a group of people working together. And that togetherness just makes the whole experience better.
How can the team grow and constantly do better? And that's how we won a championship last year.
I could work at a place that's 5 minutes from my house, and I'd rather drive 100 miles round trip a day to come here instead of going 5 minutes from my house.
Who would have thought that 18 years ago, or actually 19 years ago when I started in this business, that I would love what I'm doing, but I do.
Makes you feel respected, and it just makes you feel good to come to work every day.
If you want to work with the best, then this may be your place. Paul Miller Auto Group.